Hello, and welcome to Arsenal Above All. I hope you're all well. Thanks for waiting. We were supposed to do the show on Monday night, but just tired. I think the kids just knackered me out, gone back to school. So hopefully energy's returning. And obviously disappointed after what happened on Sunday night. Came unstuck to a little bit of magical free kick from Sir Bosley as we went down to the champions. We've got a lot to talk about. There's been a lot of fallout, which we've been digesting, myself and Steve. He's paid his fine and he's back on the team. We hopefully will be joined by Daniel later on. He's going to be fined as well. Everyone's just getting fined this year. It is like Arsenal and PGMOL, isn't it, last season? But we've got a lot to get into. So before all of that, of course, let's get into the intro. Hello and welcome to the show. Steve, how you doing, man? How you feeling after Sunday?
Yeah, all good, Mike. I paid my fine, and I hopefully won't have another one this season. I'm going to try and keep it clean.
Nice one, nice. Thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure, man. And we hopefully will have a good chat. And like I said, hopefully Daniel will be on. Join us in a few minutes. He's a busy man, as we know. So let's get into it, man. Full time, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0. Really, disappointing. Bit of a gut punch at the end with the goal from Sir Bosley, which we'll get in a little bit later on. But as always with Arsenal, win, lose, or draw, we seem to rattle not only our fan base but every fan base. In world football, it seems, with the pundits and what have you. But before that, let's go into the lineup, Steve. All week I've been thinking, okay, we're going to get Eze. Imagine him starting his Arsenal career, at Anfield, and maybe playing maybe Ethan and really going for him. I thought, and then obviously the lineup drops and. It gets Mourinho gets called up, starts his first game of the season, and so does Martinelli after he didn't feature at all against Leeds, and a lot of the rumours were that it was because the club were trying to get him out the door in a crazy transfer window, one of likes which we've never seen before, as Arsenal fans. immediately when it came out, I know a lot of people were talking in hindsight now, saying, "Oh, he should have played this and that." When the lineup came out, it was like a little bit of a deflation for me. I thought, really for the first time in a long time, we're going to go to Anfield and kind of put it on them. Not go there and turn it into a basketball game, but actually put it on them. Have a good. We've got the best defense in the world in Europe, which we are told by a lot of people. But all of a sudden, people are saying that defense would have been, opened up a lot against the Liverpool side, who have conceded goals left, right, and centre this season. But for me, it was like Mourinho and Martinelli. I said straight away in a few WhatsApp chats that Arteta's gone safe again, and was just disappointed that we didn't seem to go on the front foot there. What was your thoughts on the lineup, and did you think it was too safe, or looking back in hindsight and the fact that we finished the game for the first half 0-0 and we looked quite comfortable, was it the right way, or would you like to see a little bit more, a little bit more purpose in the way we approached that first half?
Yeah, I said I still the lineup, and I thought, like most people, he's gone very safe here. I think we spoke about it before in other pods and other shows, Mike. I've always said Arteta doesn't take those sort of risks. He will always play safe. He won't ever, throw caution to the wind in that sort of sense. He'd rather be cautious first and then build in that caution. And I think that's what he did with the lineup. I didn't think Mourinho was even going to start. In my head, I thought, well, Eze starts. Whether it was for Odegaard or Martinelli, I thought Eze would definitely be starting this game. He's played Liverpool in the FA Cup final and he's won against them. He's played Liverpool in the Community Shield and he's won against them. So I just thought he was coming in to start, like no hesitation. Especially with Odegaard not there, you sort of wanted that somebody that's going to be able to create those moments for Gyökeres to get on the end of. So he went very, very cautious, in my opinion. And the Martinelli thing, I do kind of get it, and I've been going through like a lot of chats like yourself, and in the big games, in these sort of games, he will prefer to play Martinelli because of his work rate, and by that I mean he will track back and he will get forward. I've heard some people talking about maybe not having the same output as in attack as he does in defence, and that run he did in I think it was the first half, that run he did, and he could have released Gyökeres and he just didn't. He just kept running and he kicked the ball and it hit the defender that went out, and you just sort of go, that does sum up Martinelli in one move, if you know what I mean. The flip side of that is when he is on form, when he is confident, when he is running through, we saw what happened in Madrid last season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's one of them ones. But I personally, I thought that lineup was too cautious. I thought Liverpool are leaking goals, so we should be going out there to attack them. I didn't see any reason why we should be sitting back. Yes, they are the champions, and for anybody that says, "Oh, they were there for the taking," they weren't there for the taking. They were there to be the champions. They're still the champions. They are a very, very good team. So you have to be cautious against them because they can just turn you over, especially at Anfield. So, as it played out, especially that first half, you sort of go, okay, well, actually things might not be so bad. It was a bit of a chess game, but I still feel we could have thrown a little bit more caution to the game. But that's not Arteta, so he was never going to do that.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I totally go with that. Daniel, how you doing, man? Nice for you to join. You got your fine letter is winging its way in the post to you as well. I don't know what it is with you two this season. So that's another fine for you. How you doing, man? You okay?
You all right? Not too bad, thanks, my friend. Yourselves?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. We're just reviewing obviously the fallout and everything, and the lineup and everything. So, what was your thoughts on? What were your thoughts on it as well? I mean, got a few people in the chat. Thanks for everyone joining. Dan as well. Thank you. The lineup was negative and it set the tone of our game. I was saying, I think I don't know if I messaged you as well. I said just too safe, man. He's gone safe. James, who's come on the show a few times, and he was on another show, and he said something brilliant where it was like, the way football is now has changed so much. Where you talk about attacking players, you talk about their defensive attributes. Whereas when he used to go and watch Arsenal, he used to go and watch Ian Wright and Robert Perez, and he never left the game saying, "Oh, didn't Robert Perez, win all his duels today? He was so great winning so many tackles today." It's just completely changed now, and people are actually saying, "Oh, but Martinelli is such a great, does such great defensive work. He done some great, and it's like, is that where it's got to now, where we're praising attackers for their defensive side, where it should be kind of the other way around?" But what was your thoughts on the lineup, man, and just the message it sent to everyone?
Bro, I thought the lineup was pants. The lineup was, as soon as I saw it, I thought all he's doing is probably trying to match Liverpool man for man, like in terms of what they have in their midfield. I felt there was too much caution thrown in there. I feel like he wasn't brave enough to go out there and say, you know what, I'm sticking a number 10 in there. I'm going to stick in Odegaard or Eze, take Marino out, and really try and go for it. Liverpool's performances for the first two games has not been great. They've shown already that they can be got at, and we didn't take advantage at all. The lineup was shocking. Not only Marino I mean, Marino's a decent player, but hasn't played much minutes in the first two games. He's been playing basically as an auxiliary striker last season, going into probably the hardest away game, or probably the hardest match, bar probably the Tottenham game of the season, and he's in the starting lineup just like that. It was bizarre for me when you had Eze there fit, ready to go. Martinelli starting, he's been in bad form for 2 years, so him starting as well. I don't care what defensive work he does or whatever, he's not shown anything going the other way. So I was not happy with the lineup, if I'm honest with you, not at all.
Yeah, and what compounded that, obviously, was the injury to this guy. It's almost like a copy of the photo of Saka on the pitch, sitting on the pitch against Leeds last week. So it's another game, another injury to an Arsenal player. I think the guy behind in the Arsenal red and white scarf, you can see there behind Saliba on his right hand shoulder. He kind of sums up what everyone was thinking at the time. But the story was that he twisted his ankle pre-game in the warm-up, and kind of, intimated or said to Arteta that he's good to go. But really, that decision kind of cost us in a sense, because you think at the end of the game, we're chasing the game. We could have had another sub, up our sleeve, Steve, if he'd had said, you know what, no, this is a bad one. To start with Mosquera, I can understand that there was a worry about starting him in a game like that. But again, looking in hindsight, look at how well he played. What's your thoughts on that? Is it again Arsenal not really dealing with an injury that well? How many times have we seen it before where a player gets an injury and they play on it, and then the worst happens? The same thing happened with Odegaard last week. When he injured his shoulder. Okay, he played 20 minutes on Sunday, but is it that he gives too much trust in the players when they say that they're injured, when he kind of shouldn't? He should just make an executive decision. He kind of doesn't on that aspect. He doesn't when it comes to chasing the game or trying to change things when he sees they're going wrong. But what was your thoughts on just that as well? And you can lead into Mosquera as well, just how well he played as well.
Yeah, I don't think I think a lot of the times is you do. I guess as a manager, you've got to respond to what the players are saying as well. So I give him that sort of benefit of the doubt. It's too early in the season to be losing players, and if there's any risk, you want to protect them as quickly as possible so they're missing less games. Hopefully, it's just like a sprained ankle and it's nothing more. I follow the physio guy on Twitter, and he usually gives a good breakdown as to say how long it should be and stuff like that. So hopefully it's no longer than, he's back after the international break, because he has, what was it, 3 or 4 minutes into the game, and he's had to come off. And as you said, Mike, we've lost a substitution then. When you're chasing the game, you need all the subs you can get. yes, people can go, well, you know, well, I remember the days when it was 3 substitutions, but then, yeah, we're up to 5 substitutions, but you're still losing a substitution either way. So I don't think we need to risk players this early in the season because you can make the points up. But if you play them and they're out for longer, then you run the risk of losing points because you played them when they're injured when you should have just taken them off. I think if he's felt something, especially in the warm-up, then it's a case of going, look, does it hurt? Does it hurt? Does it hurt? Yeah, it's a little bit, but I think I should be all right. You know what? Let's just not risk it. Mascara came on and was an absolute monster, to be perfectly fair. I like the look of him. There were positives from the game. He was definitely one of them. He's tall, he's strong, he's quick. I don't think he put a foot wrong. Like I said, nothing but praise for the young kid. And to go in your first debut away from home at Anfield to put in a performance like that, yeah, it will hold him in good stead if he has to step in with Saliba's injured. So fair play to the young lad. He couldn't have asked for a better debut other than the win, obviously.
Yeah, he was outstanding. Bit shaky first 5 minutes, but that's totally understandable. But I thought he was superb. He basically dealt with Ekitike. Obviously people talk about Gyökeres and his how quiet he was. Obviously, Ekitike got on the end of that offside sort of situation, but I thought Mascara shut him down pretty well. Was there anyone else that sort of any positives for you, Daniel, in terms of performances on Sunday? I thought Calafiori was very good defensively, really impressive, especially when he was up against Mo Salah, who, apart from a little flurry in the second half, I think he pocketed him basically.
Yeah, I agree. I think Calafiori impressed me. I like the stability he gives us at left back. And I see a few people moaning about Skelly, where's Skelly? But I think Arteta's doing the right thing by kind of benching him and telling him to, you know what, you had a lot of hype last season, probably made a few decisions that weren't great, got a bit cocky. In pre-season as well, I've seen some of the games that he was repeating some of those mistakes, losing the ball in tight areas, turning around, trying to turn it in the wrong areas. And I think Arteta's teaching him a lesson really by benching us. So I think that's a good thing. We do probably lose that kind of inverted kind of fullback thing, but I think Calafiori gives us something different going forward, and that's okay for me. I must big up Noni. I thought Noni played well. He took on the fullback. Yeah, I see Steve applauding. Yeah, he took on the fullback at every given opportunity. He put some good balls into the box. Really positive. So I was really happy for Noni. So yeah, those two players I thought played well. I mean, the worst performance on the day for me goes to Arteta for his decisions and substitutions.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like he should have put Eze and Odegaard on after the hour. I think he left it too late. By then, Liverpool definitely had got more momentum. Curtis Jones was doing a lot of damage, like just by standing still behind Zubamendi, and obviously that's where the foul came. He was on the wrong side of him, and that the rest is history. I thought Madueke was outstanding. I thought he's playing like it's almost like main character energy. He wants to go there and prove that he deserves to be there, and he had a little bit of an attitude. He was chipping away in the second half. I think the ball went out for a throw-in or something like that, and he was like giving a bit back to someone in the fan again. A Liverpool fan at Anfield, giving a bit of grief to an opposition player. I don't know what it is up there, but yeah, he had a little bit of an edge and aggression, and just a shame a couple of those little runs he made against Gyökeres didn't result in anything. Obviously, he had our only shot on target as well. But yeah, I think it bodes well to have him there, whilst Saka's out. Let's see how long he's out for. Is he going to be back after the national break? Probably not. And then obviously Eze coming on as well, Steve. It's a shame he didn't pull the trigger. Some people have said if he was playing for Palace, he would have pulled the trigger, but because Arteta's drummed into him already, he's been there a week. He's kind of hesitated and stuff. He's trying to Grealish him or something like that. That's the fear, isn't it? But what was your thoughts on him and what can come from the future? Because I think he unlocks a lot. He will unlock a lot of things for people, especially our number 9 who had a bit of a quiet day. But what was your just thoughts on him, his little cameo, especially when he beat Szoboszlai on the line as well, when he nipped it past him? Did so much in that little cameo than what Martinelli had done on an attacking sense. But anyway, what was your thoughts on Eze, man?
Like I said at the beginning, I would have loved him to have started the game. I think he could have started the game. I get why he didn't start the game. I'll tell you, it's got bed players in, and you never know how well somebody's going to settle into the team. But he's our boy. Do you know what I mean? He's our boy, mate. I've sent you loads of videos about the kids. I love the kid. I thought we should have signed him back when he was at QPR before he went to Palace, because obviously my other half, her dad, massive QPR fan, and her side of the family, and they're massive QPR fans, and obviously you watch some of the QPR games because as you do, and I was just like, this kid is going to be wonderful, and I thought he should have got longer. I get that Arteta will go, well, he had it before the game started to give them both 20 minutes or whatever it was. But you could have got one of them on earlier. And if you were going to get one of them on earlier, it should have been it should have been from about 60 minutes, if not a little bit earlier, just to give you that impetus, to give him that, to allow him to feel into the game. Sometimes 20 minutes for a play like that is not long enough to impact the game. Sometimes it is, sometimes they can come in with 5 minutes and impact the game. But when it's your debut for the club, you kind of need that a little bit longer. We talked about Mosquera when he had his first shaky 5 minutes, but then grew into the game. As it was saying, shaky 1 or 2 minutes, but he grew, and you just sort of go, if he was on longer, if he was on just that little bit longer, he might be something. And we know he can defend, we know he can attack, we know he can create moments of magic. We know that Gyökeres was suffocated for service from the left-hand side, which is where he mostly operates from.
Yeah,
which is where he likes to run in from. We needed somebody to give him the ball. Otherwise, it was pointless having Gyökeres up there. We might as well have had Marina up there and brought Gyökeres on later, and then we would have controlled the game that way, sort of thing. And then you bring Gyökeres and Eze on and Odegaard on, and you've got 3 attacking options, and then you can stretch their defence a bit more, and you've got better options. But again, Eze should have got longer for me. I think he will be an absolute star for us, and I'm glad the boy has come home. Everything about that whole transfer made me laugh. It did. I'm still laughing now.
man. It's almost and even how Top Spur were trying to reenact it with Xavi Simons' announcement. I didn't hear the audio, but I wouldn't be surprised if they played the same track as well, because that's what the kind of thing that they do. I think they mentioned it in the tweet when they signed them as well. But with Eze, you're right. It's like a fairy tale. You've got a kid that was not kicked out, but let go by Arsenal. Cried in his room for weeks. His mum made a prayer, that she hoped that he would come back. He went, around the block, Reading, QPR. Obviously, did what he did at Palace. Ends up winning them the FA Cup, scoring the match-winning goal. Comes back to Arsenal, wears the number 10 shirt, and we haven't won the league since then, and you're going to tell me that he's going to come back and win us the league on the final day of the season. That's the dream. And guess who our final game in the season is against?
Crystal Palace away, isn't it?
Palace away. So it's written, man. That's going to be an amazing thing if it comes through. I'll probably jinxed it, but we can dream, can't we? But thanks for the comments. Some great comments in there. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks, Dylan, from the Discord. And Brian, how you doing? He says, really hope the lineup against Liverpool is not a sign of things to come in big games in the Premier League, because we now have the squad to go toe to toe with. And Yeah, that's right. Devin, thanks, Devin. Martinelli needs to show why he deserves a spot now more than ever. I'm a fan, but I fear he's missed this opportunity. Yeah, I think Sunday was kind of like the last kind of straw for a lot of people, really, because he'd been out the team against Leeds, and people kind of thinking, okay, maybe that's good. He might go, and then he starts against Liverpool, when you're thinking, okay, he normally has a good game against these guys. Well, normally has a good game against Trent, but he's not there anymore. And then he puts in that performance, and I think a lot of people said, "Nah, that's it." He basically is a finisher now. He can't start anymore unless there's he needs to come on and finish off games rather than be a starter. And kind of the same for Marino as well. I think he's kind of showed in his performance as well. Then thanks for your message. No service for our prolific striker yet again. Give your Chris a service and he will bang goals. It's not rocket science. It's very simple. Yeah. He's just not passing to him. Yeah, you mentioned the opportunity for Martinelli when he's running through. Yorkers was trying to stay on side. He does go, and Martinelli doesn't see him, and he just goes out for a goal kick. Just really, really pathetic, and no one's finding him with anything. And he's feeding on the scraps, and because he's such a physical guy, the only thing defenders are doing, they're just smashing into him. That's all they're doing. They're not even trying to be cute about him. They're just literally smashing into him and taking their chances and trying to either knock him off balance or whatever, and then it's like a typical 50-50. With most strikers, like an Isaac, because he's so slight of foot, defenders won't go in like that on him because they know he can skip around them. But they think with Yorker, because he's so big, they're just going to try and nullify that first and then think about the rest. But yeah, it's a worry that we're 3 games in, and I think he's only had one chance I can think of where Saka's played it to him. He's played it back to him, and he's kind of mishit it. That's the only. I think that was against Leeds before, in the first half. But in terms of having 2 or 3 clear-cut chances a game, that's not happened. It's not happened for him at all. So we need to fix that. David again, yeah, Eze brings magic, true playmaker. I hope we can afford. Be interested to see how his qualities fit into Arteta's tactics. Yeah, does he let him play with freedom, or again, does he try to nullify that a little bit? That's kind of the worry. Go on, Steve.
Yeah, I was going to say with Yorkers, I think what people need to remember is the reason why pretty much every fan wanted that deal done early is so he could get in with the team and they could learn his runs a bit better. Yes, they all would have seen the videos. They all would have had. They're very prepared, if you know what I mean. But nothing prepares you greater than playing on the pitch with someone. So it's going to take a little bit of time for them to get used to him and his runs compared to how they're used to playing with your forwards of Havertz and Marino, if you know what I mean, and even Jesus to an extent, where those guys are more just likely to be deeper and not so much not so much in the box, in and around the box, looking and hunting for them goals. I'm not excusing the Martinelli thing because I just think that was just terrible. Like, you can't excuse that, but I think that's where Eze comes in, and that's where he unlocked him, because I think he's just that intelligent enough to just go, okay, I can see what's happening. I said, if Odegaard was more central, then it'd be okay. But he's mostly out on the right hand side with Saka and White. So that's why the left hand side always looks a bit more vulnerable, if you know what I mean, in terms of nothing really happens on that side. And I think that's where Eze brings that balance, if you know what I mean. If the ball comes to him that side, to be perfectly fair. But if the ball comes to him that side, then he brings that balance and he's able to feed Gyökeres, because Gyökeres likes to come in from the left hand side. Yeah. And like I said, hopefully that's what it works out. But I think it was always going to take a couple of games. Yeah. The later we signed Gyökeres in the window, like if we assigned him as soon as the window opened, for example, they're more used to him. They're more used to his runs. You can then go, okay, you know what? This is what I need to adjust. This is what I need to tweak in the team to make sure that he's getting the service that he needs. In the 3 games that he's played already, yes, he scored 2 goals. One was a penalty. Dispatched that very well, and the other goal again, he took that very well. He didn't get nothing against Liverpool, didn't really get anything against United, but I just don't think he's had that service. I think that will come with the Ezra signing because, yeah, like I said, Ezra the signing for me that has cemented everything and unified that left-hand side.
Yeah, it's just annoying that we play the more riskier passes, and defense splitting passes, I should say, in defense rather than in our own attacking third. We seem to like doing that. Raya likes doing that a lot. I think there was a stat saying the most final third entry passes were made by Raya and not anyone at field. So you think you got Rice and Marino stuff, and the most passes were made by David Raya, and they were mainly like long balls that we played. So yeah, I think a lot of work to be done. It doesn't help that they're all away in international duty and they can't sort of do stuff on the training pitch. But let's see what happens. And Brian again, as he should have started. What you do is give the opposition something to fear. Marino was not going to fear Liverpool, particularly how mediocre defense is at the moment.
I think he started Marino because of his performances against Liverpool last season.
He scored both games, didn't he?
Yeah,
he scored in both games.
So maybe that was the psychology behind it. But and another thing, I don't know if you're going to speak about it.
Was it you played up front in those games?
Yeah. And the other thing I thought, go on,
bro.
Oh, sorry. The other thing I thought was really stupid as well was, I mean, you got Ethan on the bench there. He could have come on and done something, but you're bringing on 15-year-old Max Dowman away at Anfield, putting pressure on the kid for the last 15 minutes. So yeah, he's a fantastic kid. He's got a great future, but away at Anfield, you've got Nwaneri on the bench. I didn't understand that. I would have brought Ethan on there on that right-hand side. I don't understand the pressure and the attention that he's going to be putting on Dowman at 15 years old.
That was a bit cruel.
Unreasonable expectations he's going to be putting on. That was a bit cruel, man. I didn't like that at all, man.
Yeah, it's a bit cool. It looked like it. We say that he's ready, but he didn't look ready when he came on. He looked like he was swallowed up a little bit. He lost the ball a couple of times. You've got, like you said, as you mentioned, Trossard, who scored a hat-trick at Anfield and scored against them when we beat them 3-1, not last season, the season before. So he would have probably been thinking, okay, obviously Ethan, but again, I think that's because we lost a substitution window. I think that was the reason why one of those two would have definitely come on. Libra just said, no, you know what, my ankle's done, I can't do it. Obviously, he probably didn't want to maybe think he's letting the team down, or just didn't want to miss out on a big game. So you can't really blame him for that. Just got another comment here. Greg Harris, Greg Harris, thanks for your comment. Marino and Martinelli started because they played good against Liverpool. Martinelli should have been dragged at half time yet. Arteta needs to make early subs. No pressure on Diamond. These guys train daily. Yeah. He did look a bit, a little bit under it a little bit. But back in the day, for you youngster, let them cook. Yeah, true. Yeah. It's happened. We've seen it many times before, isn't it? Where we see youngsters thrown in and they just shine. I mean, Ethan's done it, actually, and Miles last season as well. What was your thoughts on just? You're going to talk about the free kick because I've got Brian in the chat. He's a keeper, and just talk about obviously a fantastically hit free kick. But Michael Owen, who normally talks a lot of waffle, has actually said something which I thought is quite interesting. And he mentioned about if a free kick is 30 yards or more away, why is there a defensive wall up there? The defensive wall will then act as a target for the player to get the ball over. And that means the goalkeeper can't see it. But if the wall isn't there, the keeper can see the ball and maybe get to it a little bit more. Do you think there's some element of logic behind that, or do you think if the wall, because that spreads the defense, right? The defense can go in different positions. It gives the keeper a clear view. If you're closer in, then obviously, you can understand there's a need for a wall because you have the draft excluder and stuff like that. But if you're as far out, that far out, and you can get a clear view of it, surely the keeper should be able to get to it if he can see it in flight all the way, rather than behind coming up and over a wall. What's your thoughts on that, Steve? Do you think that's has he actually hit his head and said something quite interesting, or do you think that's? I mean, because Brian's in the chat. I mean, he's a keeper, and I'm interested to see what he says about that.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because at that sort of distance, there's always a wall. So it's not just this game. There's always a wall. If it was probably another 5 yards back, there's probably not a wall, because then you're marking players, because you're probably thinking, oh, they're gonna like try and create a free kick from something, if you know what I mean. Usually, if you see where the wall was, it's on the edge of the box. So you sort of go, yeah, that's where you would have a wall. You maybe won't have as big a wall, but you'd always have a wall. So I understand what he's saying, and it does make sense. You might see more teams going, yeah, actually, it's quite a bit far out. Maybe we don't need a wall, but a goalkeeper will go, I want a wall. You know, it's the goalkeeper has that shout. They're the ones that go, I need 3 people, 4 people, 2 people, 1 person, whatever it may be. They'll make that shout. They'll make that call. If the goalkeeper wants a wall, it's the goalkeeper that makes that call on the pitch. Yeah. It's not like anything that you can coach. So, but like I said, you might see more coaches and more keepers going, yeah, actually at 35 yards out, maybe I don't need a wall. Maybe I might be able to see it. And they might give them other options. And they might go, okay, well, you know what? Whereas I'd ask for 4, usually I'll go with 2 or I'll go with 1, like just one person to sort of try and whatever it may be. So, yes, there's some logic to it, but the keeper makes the call, and they probably weren't even thinking that a shot was coming in, and he's hit it beautifully, and it's a moment of magic. So you just take your hats off to it.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, good point there from Brian. And Greg says, as soon as I saw Van Dijk walk away, I knew he was hitting it, and I believed he would score. The wall helped. That free kick, like Owen says, you can give that power and it will go up and down fast. Raya should have saved it, but it was a perfect hit. What's your thoughts on that, Dan? Do you think it's almost it's almost like it's programmed, isn't it? In certain situations that we've got to have a wall there. I mean, unless they're on the training pitch and they know much more than me and you and everything. But yeah, I just wondered if what was your thoughts on that? You know. If the keeper gets a clear sight of it, surely he should get a bit of a better chance of getting to it if he's in obviously positioned well.
I think there's a couple of things on this actually. If I take you back, Mike, if you remember, there's a few times we've discussed Raya's height.
Yes,
I think Raya's height will continue to be an issue in certain situations. At 6'4", he's one of the shortest goalkeepers in the league. If he's 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", like the majority of keepers, he probably gets his fingers on that. However, he's probably the most agile keeper in the Premier League. So it's a bit of both. But second of all, I think they would have prepared for a wall for Szoboszlai, because apparently he has a striking reputation. It's just that he said in an interview himself that because Trent was there before, he never really got the opportunity to showcase his ability. But apparently, Szoboszlai has a reputation for his striking ability in his from before Liverpool. So I reckon they would have done their research and known that he can hit a ball. It was just a world-class free kick, man. When it left his foot, immediately I said to myself, "This is on target." And it was just a world. I can't complain about the goal at all. I don't think there's anything we could have done to have blocked it if there's a wall, if there wasn't a wall. If Raya was a little bit taller, maybe he might have got. I think he might have got to it, but you could see his positioning was decent. He got a good spring towards it, but there was too much power and accuracy on it. It was just a world class. Like really, I can't. There's nothing we can really say. Really.
Let's see if he does it again, eh? You know,
let's see if he does it again. Let's see if Declan can do it again.
Okay, so so we look our wounds. The players obviously go away on this pointless international break after 3 games of the season. Absolutely insane. And then obviously we've got Forest in the early kickoff obviously he won't be facing Shinchenko, which is great. Obviously he departs and unlikely to play for us again because his contract is up next June, and obviously he's on loan with Forest for the season. So talking on which, let's talk about our transfers. An unprecedented window. I've never seen anything like it. Getting so many players in, spending so much money, especially after the lack of activity in January, and getting the 3 players in last summer, which was obviously Calafiori, Marino, and Raheem Sterling. What was your thoughts on it, Daniel? And looking at the bodies that we got in, is there anyone there that you're obviously we talk about as a don't know too much about the new left back in Cagey, but is there anyone that you would have liked to have added out of all of that? Is there a position? I know which one I'm going to say, but
yeah, I think I would have liked a left winger.
Yeah,
I think that's what you're going to say as well. I think I would have definitely liked some competition over there on the left hand side. On the right, we've got Saka, Madueke, Nwaneri, Dowman can all play on that side. Left,
yeah,
Trossard and Martinelli. It's not heavy enough on that side. Primarily, it's them two.
yeah,
Other than that, very happy with the transfers. Really good defensive depth.
Yeah.
It's a shame, Sod's Law. Norgard has been ever present for Brentford pretty much. Starts the season injured with us. It's just, oh my gosh. Sod's Law, man, with us, man. Hincapié,
yeah,
Hincapié, I've heard a lot of good things about. I've never really seen him play, but I've heard that he's rapid and he's really aggressive.
Yeah.
Which is what I've heard about him. So yeah, really good, huh?
Yeah, he likes to overlap apparently.
Yeah,
so if
loves
he
that.
overlaps, then that kind of opens things
Yeah.
up for Eze. If he's out there on the left, he can obviously come in and knowing the guy's there
Yeah.
to slip him in, and then at the same time to feed Gyökeres, who is going to be our playing as a mind for a considerable period, regardless of what happens, unless as long as he stays fit, because obviously Havertz is out for a few months.
Havertz is out for is it 3 months, is it?
Yeah.
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 But the other thing I wanted to add as well is that I think Jesus will have something to add this season, all being well. Apparently back in October, or so I hear.
Yeah.
Like a new signing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like a new signing.
Well, it is World Cup year, and
Yeah.
if he, knowing our luck, when he gets fit, someone else will go down. And if he doesn't get any game, if he can't get in, then he's going to be looking to get out
to
somewhere
leave in
on loan.
January. Absolutely.
To get out on loan. But you're right, Steve. I mean, if he comes back like he did for that little purple patch he had when he scored that hat trick against Palace and in the 2 in the league game, then it's a good option. But yeah, what are you thinking on the window, Steve? Is anyone there that you're let's say anyone that you're not particularly happy with or happy with, and any position that you would have liked us to properly stocked in?
Okay, let's just quickly go through them. Kepa, great signing. 5 million for a goalkeeper, an international goalkeeper. Easy money. Zubimendi, he's come in, he looked good, he's looked solid. I would have liked to have got cover for him.
Yeah.
I know Norgard's there for that, but I want somebody younger that's got the legs to run around as well. In saying that could be where Lewis Skelly moves more central to cover him as part of his development. So, yes, I would like somebody there, but if Lewis Skelly's going to be moving there and covering for him at some point and stuff like that, then it makes sense, and that's a good somebody to learn from. Norgard, I was surprised to see him, but he's a solid player. You need squad players that know that they're not going to start every week, and but they can come in and just be professional. We had that with players like Mohamed El-Neni, for example. Knew he wasn't going to start every week, but he was there to give encouragement, to help the younger players to just go, listen, when you need me, I will always be ready.
Yeah, knows the league as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Holding was kind of the same, but just a bit different. He got his hair done and it was all right. Noni's he's come in, he's done well. I would have loved to have seen somebody on the left. We've all said it, we've all been saying it. He needs to cover the wings. You never know. We might find somebody from the Hayland that might get an opportunity. You never know. But I just think with the signing of the left back, because we always get a left back, that might help Martinelli. Believe it or not, because I said Martinelli's best season for us was when Xhaka was there and Tierney was there.
Yeah.
And those three were pretty strong. Xhaka would cover for Tierney or Zinchenko, that would go forward. So not Tierney, was Zinchenko, sorry.
Zinchenko as well, yeah.
Xhaka would cover in at left back as well as pushing up. So they had that left side defensive cover solid, and it meant that Martinelli wasn't tracking back so much and could be a bit more free to express himself. Now I don't know if he's kind of half thinking, but I've got to get back or what. Like, it could be something that's a brain that's in his mind, if you know what I mean. Mosquera, young centre back, we needed cover that on that side. So fantastic. It's a shame to see Kirill go, but again, I understand that he needs to play. It's a World Cup year.
Yeah.
And he done fantastic for us towards the end of last season, and he would always get praised and be loved by the Arsenal fans. We needed a striker. We got our striker. I would have loved to have got our striker at the beginning of the window or as early as possible to get them settled in. With any of our signings, like any one of them, I would have wanted them done as quickly as possible. One of my friends, Greg Harris, a guy I work with, I think he's been commenting, he was not convinced about Gyökeres. He said, absolutely not. Like, we've talked about Gyökeres, I know you have, and we've said, this is our guy. This is for me, he's our guy. Like Eza, they're both, 27? 26, 27? They're both for now. Okay, we don't need project players all the time. We need now players that hopefully not going to take too long to sell. Hopefully are more confident and assured of what they're going to be giving you in terms of output. And that's what we signed in those striking positions, in those forward positions. Noni for me is quite established, and he's at a good age, if you know what I mean. And then the left, I know nothing about left back, but we always sign a left back, so there you go.
It could be interesting to see how he settles in.
He looks like Ben White, just on the left hand side, and Colombian.
I'm sure he's going to be play a big part as well. So don't worry, Steve. Ben White will still get his minutes, mate. Don't worry. But let's have a look at. We've had let me take this off. We had a couple of comments.
You know, Silvio Blanco is my guy, and that
yeah.
That guy looks like Ben White, but just slightly darker, and it's going to be great.
Frank Bryan says, going back to the free kick chat, you want your wall to cheat or by stealing a yard before he hits it. But for me, I would have had the wall and gambled. And some people were saying the wall looked back further than 10 yards. It looked like it was back about 12 yards. It's always us, isn't it? Brian says, Semenyo. Semenyo was the one that I wanted as well badly. I know all the talk, all the summer was Rodrigo. From why all the rumours coming out and stuff, that the guy was basically, he didn't want to leave Madrid. He was happy there, comfortable. Fair play. Let's see how many minutes he gets.
Just quickly on the Semenyo thing. I saw a tweet somewhere and somebody basically went, "Yeah, he hits the ball like the Premier League owes him money," and I just thought that was hilarious.
But so does Gyökeres. The way he acts when he's in the area as well, when he gets the ball, he's pretty much the same. So let's see if we can get the ball to him, and let's see what he can do, man. And Greg has said, I'm giving Gyökeres 8 games in the Prem till Sunderland. I'm not convinced. Didn't want him. Nunes was also hyped for Portugal, and I think he is better than Gyökeres. I know he flopped at Liverpool. So Greg's not a fan, but obviously he's giving him time. Fair play. Thanks. Comment from BM. The squad is good enough to win the league. Unfortunately, the manager isn't. There's a few that think that as well. Brian Jesus will definitely play a part. I think he will look like he's still got something to prove. I think so. Looks a bit heavy though. I think some of the photos of him, he looks like he's been in the gym a bit. So don't put too much pressure on those.
In a good way, like or a bit chunky.
He just looks a little bit thicker in the arms and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, don't put too much weight on those knees, mate. You can't be doing that. Maybe that's what Kai did. And yeah, why couldn't we even try?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
he
think
didn't want
Liverpool.
us. He
I
didn't
think
want
Liverpool
us.
tapped him up straight away, and he's said going back quite a while that he wants to play.
Yeah.
You know, his favourite ground, Anfield, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think we would have asked about it if it was possible, but I think he's kind of said no. Whereas with Yorkeres, it kind of he said it was us right from the very off. I think Isaac has had his heart set on the move there, and that was it. And no matter what we said, that was it. So yeah, but obviously, I think if you're looking at it, which striker, if you would have preferred, you know, for me, if I would have preferred Isaac or Yorkeres, I would have said Isaac, you know, because he's more complete. Grego Mosquera looks good. Yeah, I thought Saliba was still on the pitch. Yeah. No, he was really good, really competent. He's 20 years old, man. Insane, and I think that's one of the things from the window as well. We've bought for now. There's a few 26 and 27-year-olds in there that we've bought, but we're also future-proofed as well because we've got obviously Hincapié, who's 23, Mosquera, who's 20. Obviously, we've got, you know, we've given Ethan a contract as well, and Miles obviously got his contract earlier in the summer, so we've kind of future-proofed it as well as getting the window for now. And Greg says, I've been watching Arsenal since 1991. I've seen strikers. He's not the one. He's adamant, mate. Oh, we've seen Freddie Jeffers as well, Greg, and he definitely weren't the one, even though he was touted as Fox in the box by Mr. Henry.
I'll tell you. We were off screen. I'll tell you what Greg actually said.
Yeah, I hope I'm proving fair play. Neil, we're still winning the league. Isaac and Liverpool can watch our dash trolls. Yeah, nice one, Dean. Neil coming in with the truth.
Neil.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Yorkeres will be fine once we supply him better. Eze will help with that. But yeah. We need to get the ball to him. You know, it doesn't look good at the moment, and I think someone said he doesn't look fit, which is I think is right, and that's because of the circumstances what took place in the summer. He weren't training with Sporting. He kind of down tools like a couple of other strikers did, and he's just catching up. If you look at the photos that are floating around of Isaac, and it looks like the guy's lost some serious weight. I know he was quite, thin, not built in a particular way, but he looks like he's really got a little bit of work to do over this international break before he gets back on it. But who knows? Let's see what happens. And Neil saying, he's a Saliba upgrade, a fabulous sign. Yeah, he is. Mosquera, absolutely superb, and all the signs of class. Yeah, Jeffers was well class.
All right, come on. Diddly winks.
Neil, man. So 3 games in, some people have crashed out saying the title is Liverpool's, and they've broken the record twice, the transfer record twice in one window. But at the same time, people are saying it's now or never for Arteta. When you're up against the champions who spent over 400 million in the transfer window, the highest I think in history. I've seen people have been trying to adjust it for inflation. So they're trying to say Chelsea's window of whenever it was, 2004, 2005, whatever, adjusted for inflation was still higher than Liverpool. So they still want to try and downplay Liverpool side for some reason. I don't understand that. I really don't understand why the media want to give these guys a pass and stuff. But anyway, what's your
Spend FC, man?
Yeah.
In the group, in all the WhatsApp groups, all the Liverpool fans just spend half the amount of time talking about the net spend, and I'm like,
yeah. What can you say? We just got to do the talking on the pitch, and at the end of the day, I think the performance, the first half we were very comfortable. Going back to that, and we just need to have a little bit more oomph up front and attack, be a bit more freedom, a little bit more creativity, and I think we'll be fine, man. You can't say that people can't keep saying that Arsenal are the best defense in Europe and the best team out of possession, which I've seen all over the place from all the tacticos and people doing their content and stuff, and then say, oh, but you can't go to Liverpool and be on the front foot, well, what happened to that best defence out of possession? Then you just throwing that against the wall and just chucking it out. Then you can't, yes, Liverpool have got a good attack, but you can see in the evidence that they haven't got a good defence really, and we didn't test them. But yeah, you can keep going back to that.
Yeah, I think that's the frustration as a fan is, that Liverpool's defence don't look as solid as what it always has done, if you know what I mean. It looks like you can get at them. But it's at Anfield. We don't get much change at Anfield anyway. So you can look at it many different ways, and people going, "Oh, Liverpool are there for the taking." The champions are never there for the taking. They've broke the transfer record twice in one window, and for everybody go look at the net spend and blah blah blah. That means nothing. Like that means nothing to two transfers that you have already made. So when people are going, "Oh, this is Arsenal's year. Arsenal's like now or never," sort of, you just go, the champions always have a say because that's the reason why they're the champions. They broke the record twice in one window for attacking players, so that's made them more stronger. Yes, they didn't get the defensive centre half in, but the reason why I will remain confident and be very optimistic about our season is because we're 3 games in. I think we'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? We'll definitely be close, challenging. I'd love us to win it, but we'll definitely be close. And we'll be there to put Liverpool under pressure this season more so than we did last season. And I think we should just be positive. Like I said, we've had a fantastic window, an absolutely fantastic window. Just that graphic you put up, Mike, of all those signings that came in, we haven't seen a window like that. That's quality. That's quality across the board. The only teams that have done better in the window is Chelsea, but that's because they sign everyone. Like I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised if the window was still open now, they'd still be signing players. That's the crazy thing. Like,
yeah, they would. Yeah, but you're gonna like this then, because this is a look at the squad depth. If you can see that's it's pretty impressive, isn't it? When you look at the names and look at when you're even thinking of the rotation that you can do in the cup games. Obviously, coming up, we've got Port Vale. You can absolutely rotate that team and still have quality there that's going to make a difference. Obviously, in the forward options, you're probably looking at, if you're going to rotate anybody out, it's going to be Marino playing up front instead of Gyökeres. If you have to give him a break, because you're going to have to, because you don't want him broken. But that is good. I think what we've done in terms of making the squad, the depth there is quality. It's been a really, really good job by Berta. The left wing is just what I would have liked to have been addressed, because I think the striker and the left winger were the ones that at the start of the window, for me, that was like, we need to get an upgrade on Martinelli and Trossard, and we need to get a centre forward in, a proper centre forward in. We've got the centre forward, obviously, and obviously there's people who have got question marks over it, because obviously it looked like it was going to be Sesko, and that's not looking too great at the moment. But obviously Eze can do a job out there because he's that good, and he kind of played in that sort of left position for Palace, coming in off there as well. And obviously that if Nkape and Lewis Skelly, obviously Lewis Skelly more inverts more, doesn't he? But I think maybe Lewis Skelly is going to probably be more used as a midfielder now this season. I think that's his position. That's where he played. He played for the kids as well. So I think the squad, the work we've done squad wise, I think we've definitely got. You compare ours to Liverpool's, and obviously Liverpool got a great 11, a very strong 11. But I think defensively, there's nowhere near the depth that they've got for us. They're playing people. I mean, I know Gomez is playing now. They could have sold him, they didn't. Konate might be out for a while, and they're playing Endo as centre back. They played obviously Szoboszlai at right back. So they've got some things to sort out, and it's going to be it's a long season. You said it yourself, Steve. Just the 3 games in. And we've got 2 tough away games out of the way as well, which Neil said earlier in the chat. Greg's going in 2-footed here. I mean, the guy wants all the smoke. Your career will be worse than Ali Adier. Wow. He's not even gone Jeffers, man. He's gone Ali Adier. I mean, wow. Can we take a minute to just...
give him a break.
Greg, we'll be having words tomorrow. Trust me, mate. I'm going to get a break to you afterwards.
Yeah. There's not much I can say about that. I mean, that's pretty damning. We worse than Ali Adier. Wow. Okay. Thanks for the comment, Greg, man. I appreciate it. You know,
just on that left defense side, right? So both Hincapié and Calafiori can play centre back and left back. So that side is covered. Like,
oh yeah, I mean,
so much.
The layers, man, are crazy. Like
crazy.
The depth we've got. Even Mosquera can play across as well. And right. Who else can do that? Timber can play left back as well. It's just crazy depth that we've got there, and you kind of hope we don't have to use it as much as we want, because obviously injuries and whatever. You just hope we can do it at kind of leisure. It's like, okay, we can kind of, because it's all about the run-in, and it's all about from March onwards, if we're in a position to challenge still or win something, that we've got that squad still there, and we've got all these players fit and everything. I mean, that's going to be amazing. Neil Geek is his nickname for your career. Is served correctly, will shoot and score loads, and not chatting about his bedroom. I don't know what's going on in his chat tonight. I think Greg and Neil might have to hold timeouts thingy. Liverpool will wobble. They will score, but they will leak. Yeah, and hopefully Callum at the Emirates. Yeah, they will score, and they will score a lot more. Obviously, with who they've gotten in now. I think I saw a stat where I think the last decade, the team that has scored the most goals, I think apart from one season, has basically won the league. So whatever team has scored the most goals has basically won the title. I think there's only one instance, or maybe 2 in the last decade. So even though we've got the best defense, it's you've got to score goals. You know, you've got to score a lot of goals, and that's going to basically get you over the line. So that's something that we need to sort out. Despite not getting the left wing, the squad depth is very good. I think I agree as well.
The thing with the no excuses, and I see loads of people say, no excuses. To wrestle the championship and the title from the champions is very, very difficult. To retain the title is also very, very difficult. We know that, but we're not the only team, if you know what I mean. Like I said, Chelsea they've bought everyone, so they can field 50 different teams, and they've bought well. Look at the signings that they've made. City, yes, they've had a terrible start to the season. People are laughing at Man United, but City have lost 2 already. To the Spuds and then to Brighton. People go, oh yes, they're bogey teams, but they still lost the games, isn't it? And they're supposed to be. But you will still expect them to put a run on. And some of your pundits will go, oh yeah, but they're still Manchester City. This is a Pep Guardiola side. You still expect them to be there towards the end. So if they've lost 2 games already, you still expect them to be there towards the end, and they're still Man City. Yeah. And people look at their window and go, well, they haven't really signed much. They signed players in January when both Liverpool and Arsenal didn't. So that's why it looks like they've not signed many players, but they've still got how many charges that they still haven't been called up on yet? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. That's for another show.
What charges are you talking about?
Sorry, not charges.
What are you talking about, mate?
And the show. This
what are you talking about? Charges? What charges?
There's 100 and something charges going on still.
Have you ever heard of something called the Mandela effect, where people think things have happened and it actually it hasn't? So people think that Mandela actually died in prison, but he actually didn't. And then So I think that's what we all got. We all either got space jammed, or we got hit. The whole world got hit with the neuralizer, the Men in Black thing, when they just went like that.
Yeah, that's it, man.
What charges, man? What are you talking about? It's the first I've heard of it. 115 charges. Yeah, no. For who? For Man City?
There's this whole thing that it should have been done already. That there was these charges, and
that
was over 100. That was 115.
Wow, you shot 115, man. Because
it was a lot of
with all those charges, that amount of charges, that would be sorted out pretty quickly, don't you think? Because here's
the beauty of it. Everton got deducted points. There you go.
How many charges do they have?
Like one.
What?
Yeah, I know. They've got deducted points twice as well. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
One charge
Wow.
is just more. Yeah, but yeah, no. It's probably best we don't talk about it because nobody else is.
Oh dear. Neil saying he has said a lot. Stick Calafiori to left winger, man, because the guy just does a madness up there. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if you see him there if we get any injury problems. Yeah, Ethan Eze and Madueke will help us get the goals by Eyebrows, which is his nickname for Arteta. Has to trust his squad and Ethan in particular. And Brian, our season is not defined by the third game of the season, but will be defined by sides we dropped points against you last season. Yeah, the low blocks and everything. Yeah, that's what we're going to say.
I think that's why Martinelli didn't start against Leeds. Is against those low block teams is pointless. Like having him there. He doesn't need to start, but against again somebody was just sort of saying that against your bigger teams is you have Martinelli, against your small teams you don't have Martinelli, which is a bit wild, but I kind of get it. But yeah, I think that it's fine. I think we'll pick up more points than last season. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, the draws killed us, isn't it? 14 draws is an absolute joke, and we need to just even halving that would have won us the league. So yeah, that's can't be getting to those numbers again. That's a joke. Question to the chat in the panel from ARFAQ. Basically saying the lineup on Sunday is this defensive or attacking. Kind of says says what exactly what he says in the tin, isn't it? He kind of went out and tried to control it, and he kind of did, but then he didn't press upon that by being more bolder in his substitutions. He waited too long, and I think if he made a change for Eze and Odegaard after an hour, it would have given them obviously enough time. And I think we did kind of create some situations, but that was because we were chasing the game after that as well. So, but yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He went out. He played safe. And paid maybe them a little bit too much respect. Maybe. Thanks, James. I've been quiet all episode, enjoying it, but I'll chip in here. Mandela will walk free again before Man City.
He might be onto something there, you know.
Oh, this chat is wild tonight, man. What is going on?
James, you might be onto something there, mate. Watch this space.
Oh, thanks for that, James. Neil said that, too defensive. We need to take risky season. Yeah, high press. Yeah, we were playing more riskier passes in our defence than we were in the final third, which was crazy. And I think even Gary Neville said it as well. It's like we seem more comfortable playing across our back line, and he's like trying to thread these balls through. But when we go up in the final third, we don't want to do it. It's just crazy. Brian charges double jeopardy means jeopardy times 112. We've hoped for draws. We will win nothing. You can't play it safe. Yeah, you've got to go for it. You've got to go for it. Oh, guys, what show? What show? Thanks very much for your time. Thanks everyone who contributed. You need to keep an eye on a few if they come up again. You know who you are. We're taking names. Greg and Neil, obviously, with some of the madness, and obviously James coming in with the grenade at the end with his Mandela chat. Crazy stuff. But thanks everyone for your time. Before we finish, we've got a new feature when this man appears, and it's Stepney's final thought. Steve, what's your final thought to send the Arsenal fan base away calmly in Jerry Springer style, please?
Okay, so we're 3 games into the season, and it's not been particularly bad. We've been away to United, we've been away to Liverpool, we've got 3 points and from both of those games, which is not a bad result, especially as one of those teams is the champions, and we don't usually get more points from there anyway. But we move forward, we move together, we move united, we are together. We've got some great signings. We've got a great season ahead. We need to remain positive And remember, take care of yourselves and each other.
Nice one, Steve. Thanks very much for that. Really appreciate it. Everyone, all the great comments that have come in, really on the questions are really good. Daniel, thanks again, man, for your time. Thanks.
Wow.
Sorry, I couldn't put the vlog up of the Leeds game. I literally
cool.
was packing to go up to Manchester, and I just couldn't get the time to do it. But anyone, you going to the Forest game?
I'm at Forest, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you send one in, I'll put that up. And then obviously after that, it's in the league, it's City, haven't we? Because after Forest, we've got the Champions League, Bilbao, and then we've got City, I think. So yeah, gonna be proper full on once they come back. So thank you very much for that. Just got a couple more comments. James, yeah, thanks for going back to City and watching now. Great show. Thanks very much. Thanks, Neil. Fantastic show. We'll catch up the parts that I missed. Yeah, cheers, mate. And sorry for this.
I'm hoping Greg's apologising.
Great show. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks, James. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone taking the time out of your evening to watch Three Gooners talking about the club they love, and hopefully brought some kind of sanity and lowered the blood pressure somewhat, apart from some of the comments from Neil. But I'll have words with him when he next comes on, and that Greg as well, if he appears in the comments as well.
I'll have words with work. Don't worry.
Sensational stuff there. I mean, man, talk about chucking a grenade in there. You know, Ali yeah. I mean,
if you heard the voice note he left, it's
wow. Okay. No, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. Let me just. What was it? What have I done here? You got comments. Yeah, thanks very much, everyone, and we'll be back possibly next week with a preview of the Forest game and maybe just a recap of how other fans think of how things have gone, and go from there. But thanks very much. Thanks for all the support. Have a great rest of the evening. It's just gone past 10 o'clock. Thanks, guys. We'll have you back on again soon. And come on, you guys.